Welcome to the Triple P podcast. We'll explore the power of positivity and purpose towards your fitness goals. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just starting on your fitness journey, this podcast is for you. See, I believe that a positive mindset and a strong sense of purpose are essential to reaching your fitness goals and living a healthy and fulfilling life. Join me as we dive into the power of your perspective as you work towards your goals. Get ready to unleash your inner power, embrace your purpose, and move positively as you achieve your fitness goals like never before. Let's get started on this journey together. Well, hey, my name is Sam. I'm a trainer in the Round Rock area and nutrition coach. And hey, I'm excited you're here because today I want to talk about the power of your perspective. Something that really kind of changed my life was an amazing book. I want to talk about it. It's my favorite book. Actually, man, this is a book that kind of started my self-discovery journey. And on that self-discovery journey, it really helped me change my perspective. And the book was The Power of Positive Thinking. It was written by Norman Vincent Peale. And this book has fundamentally changed my life because it really talked about how you're so much more in control of not only how you think, but more so how you feel. And I feel that at this time, and especially with social media and other influences, I feel like your perspective is influenced more than you've ever thought, more than I've ever thought, more than you'll ever know, to be honest. And I really want to say that your perspective is ultimately your power. Right? I mean, how powerful is that to know that you control your thoughts? Because one of my favorite books, it's actually written by Wayne Dyer. It says, what was that called? It was Your Erroneous Zones. That's a great read. It's a great read, but he talks about how your thoughts control your actions and how your actions control your thoughts. So therefore, you control your thoughts. And simply by just controlling your actions, it's a great way to control your perspective on life, right? Because you maybe heard it many times of why do good things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people many times? Or maybe you've heard, why do bad things always happen to me? Right? And especially as a father, it's really funny to see my kids be in situations where they look for the bad. And as a parent, you're like, no, this is actually a really great thing, but they can't see it because they're not really looking for it. So why don't you look in areas of your life that maybe you thought were bad, but your perspective made it that way, right? We were looking for the bad and not realizing that this is actually something that set me up for success. It's many times the pain that I felt in my life was actually great things, great things that have honestly altered my life in positive ways. But my perspective was, this is something horrible. This is going to ruin my life. I can imagine bouncing back from this, but I realize now that that was my perspective. My perspective only let me see the negative in that thing, and not seeing the positive that helped me change my life, right? Because I was in a state of being very unhealthy, having high cholesterol, and going into a blood pressure clinic, and they were telling me, "Sir, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to change it now." And that ultimately, that perspective, me being like, this is the worst thing that ever could possibly imagine happening to me. I was brand new, and I think I was like I was pretty young, but I was just had my second child at that time. And I always felt like almost felt like it was a death sentence for me. It's like, you have high blood pressure, your cholesterol is bad. I didn't want to take the blood pressure medications, but that perspective at that time that I thought was something that was so horrible in life altered my life to make changing my career, changing my lifestyle, realizing that I wanted to live a healthier lifestyle, right? And at that time, it was the worst thing I could only imagine. But now that I look at it, I'm so thankful for that opportunity. Not only because it made me, change my life, but it gave me a passion for other people that might be going through the exact same thing. And so when it comes to your perspective, I really want to talk about your power of being positive, right? Finding that sunny side of the coin, looking for the aspect that this can actually help me to greater things. Maybe the challenges, maybe you're going through something really challenging right now, and you're like, you wouldn't understand because I'm not there. And I totally understand that. But I know that there's a positive side of that situation if you're looking to find it, right? Maybe the challenges you're going through is an opportunity for you to grow. Maybe the challenge you're going through is an opportunity for you to see things you've never seen before. Maybe that challenge is just an opportunity for you to grow, right? So I want to talk about just my first P of your perspective is finding that positive side, realizing that you are in control of your thoughts. You are in control of the situation and you are in control of your perspective, regardless of what the media says and what somebody else tells you. You're in control of your perspective. And I really want to talk about your there's so much power in perspective because like I talked about initially was finding that sunny side gives you that power and realizing that you're in control of how you feel and what people say about you and how you react to it, right? Because when you change your perspective, you have those people where you're trying to just insult them, and you're like, man, I just can't get through to them. Or maybe you maybe somebody said something like, shouldn't you be offended? And you're like, No, because your perspective is different. You're not looking for the negative. You might, most of the time people talk about when somebody wants to tear you down, it's really just a reflection of how they feel. And you might find yourself in that place where you're feeling compassionate about that person. People are like, why are you being nice to this person? They're just putting you down. Do you not realize that? But you're like, no, because it's all in that perspective. You're like, I see that person hurting. And look at the power of that perspective. You found that positive, like, man, they're hurt. They're not really lashing out at me. They're really just, you know, releasing some of the pressure that they feel inside. But that's the perspective. Like, I realize that maybe that's how they just release the pressure by just putting you down. But maybe maybe their self confidence is so beat down that they gotta be nasty to you, right? And maybe they're just reaching out to you. Maybe they feel comfortable enough with putting you down just to help them feel better, but maybe they just want you to reach out to them. They're looking for you for that contact point. They need that attention and they want that from you, right? And then that next P of just simply going down to that the power of our purpose is simply you're gonna have to be purposeful. Now that we've set ourselves for the situation and realizing we're looking for that positive aspect of how we can alter our lives and our thoughts. But now that we realize that we have the power to do that, you're gonna have to be purposeful. Because I realize in that situation, people are like, Sam, how are you positive? How are you looking at the sunny side of things? I got to be honest, I was a very angry kid. If you would have told me that I could look at the sunny side of anything, I remember one time being so angry, like, okay, it was the stupidest thing. I'm like a kid, and I remember playing with my friends, and he knocks my glasses off, right? And I'm like, we're playing basketball, and I have my glasses in my hand, and I'm like, hey man, you're being too physical. I'm squeezing my glasses, by the way, which he kind of like knocked out of my hand, and I just end up crushing them in my anger. So I'm like, you broke my glasses by making me angry, and I was like, wow, it was a ridiculous story, but I realize now I'm so thankful for that moment because I know if I never change my perspective and the power that we each and every one of us have to change it, I know I would be there. And I don't want to know where I would be with breaking my own stuff because that wasn't cool. I was like, dang it. So, knowing that you have the opportunity to look for that sunny side to change your state, now that you know that you have the power to do it, it's just being purposeful, right? That last P is just being purposeful and being mindful that, hey, now that I know I have the power, now I know how to alter my state by changing my thoughts and looking for the positive. Now it's going to have to be purposeful. And I wish I could tell you that that part is easy because this is something that is still a challenge. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at trying to find the sunny side of things, but man, I got to be honest. Everything is different, and we find those in obviously different places. And it's just a day by day process, realizing that it's a process. And with the process of anything, and the reason I say it's a process, because there's no timeline. I wish I could give you a timeline. I wish I could say, hey, man, you got to have a 6-week program. But you know what happens is right when you think you got it figured out, you find that one close family member that knows how to get under there. And I know we all have one. We have that one person that's like, they can get you and they can get you. And I think those opportunities are where you grow the most, right? Those opportunities where you're tested the most, that person cuts you off in traffic. I mean, I know we deal with the traffic. They get your order wrong. They you, your package is a month late. Who knows? But when you really start to change your perspective and you realize that you're in control, you have the power to change your life. And I hope more so anything that you find that you realize how powerful not only you are, but that you are 100% in control. Oh, hey, friends. Hey, I'm super thankful for your time. I hope that you got some value. I just want to say simply, hey, I'm thankful for you because you, my friends, are simply amazing. So, hey, if I don't get to hear from you, I hope you have an amazing holiday season, my friends. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Woo!